Today I want to talk about a new feature that Contours has added, and it's a really big feature, but you got to think about how do you want to use it. Okay, and this is the appraisal feature. Now you can access this by going to your craft shop. Obviously, you have to be high enough level to get the crafting materials. You have to be high enough a level to go ahead and get the raid stuff necessary to do it, and it's right here on this option right here. Now this only takes 30, 30, 30, and 50, so it's not really that bad. You'll get a lot of these excess from if you farmed up your homunculus, so that's not a big deal there, but it's limited to 3 times per week. Okay, and what that means is that this is important to be able to farm up. Even if you're not planning to use it this week, you're going to want to go ahead and farm it up for the week. Okay. I would not spend these stones willy-nilly. Okay. Essentially, what this does is allows you to target a specific rune or specific rune slot. Okay. And re-roll to get that. Now, you say, okay, Kolik, what does that mean? Well, let's say Bernard. Bernard needs a Swift set. All right. Now, maybe you're like me and your Swift sets for slot 6 kind of suck. Yeah, okay. It happens, right? HP percent rune or accuracy percent rune, it can be difficult to get a high speed roll on that kind of a rune. You want to have to be specifically has to be Swift, and it specifically has to be that substat, with that main stat, and then you have to roll speed on it, and then it has to be legendary and 6-star, and you're talking like if you farm giants, maybe you get 1 or 2 of these types of things per month. And that's assuming that you spend a lot of time in giants. Now, they did buff the rune drop rates a couple months ago. So maybe you get 2, or if you're lucky, or 3, maybe. Right? And the crafting materials, maybe you get pull 1 from that, maybe you don't. It's still up in the air on that. But this what it does is instead says, well, I don't have 1 Swift HP 6-star slot 6 legendary rune that gets dropped per month. I get 12. Okay? 3 per week. I get to re-roll that thing 3 times every week if I want, until I get the stats that I want. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to have extraordinary stats. Do legendary drops. If you got legendary drops and they gave great stats every time, then this thing would be completely useless. The average is they don't give good stats, okay? You know that. I know that. Comtibus sure knows that. I actually cannot believe that they made this thing. This thing is really powerful, and that's why you have to be careful on how you want to spend it. You don't really want to spend it on slot 1 or slot 3 or slot 5 runes, at least not at the start. Okay, your start focus should be on specific runes that you're having problems rolling, and these are most likely going to be slot 2, 4, or 6 runes. Most likely you're going to want slot 2, 4, or 6 runes that are one of the 2 following sets: Swift or Violent. Okay? Yes, those really matter. Now, 4, which one's more valuable? HP percent or crit damage? Well, whichever one you can do, okay? That's what it comes down to. Now, having said that, there are other things that you need to be aware of that I want to go ahead and talk a little about. Now, I looked through my stats, and there wasn't a whole bunch of runes that I was going to go ahead and try and reappraise. So, what I was going to go try and do is see if I could craft me a new Violent rune, and see if I could find something that I maybe want to use the reappraisal stones on. So, I was going to say, if I got a attack percent purple rune at the start, that'd be pretty good. That's unlikely to happen. Even though I did do crafting on my other account, I was like, wow, I should have recorded this because I got 4 legendary 6-star runes on my other account. And none of them, I think, really meet the requirements I want to use the reappraisal stones on yet. Yeah. Anyway, so What you want to focus on is the runes that are the most important to you. And to be honest, again, those are going to come back to be swift or violent. It's possible that maybe you want a fatal or a rage rune that goes on a Lucian or some other damage dealer. You just can't get good rolls on that slot. I mean, come on. Even YDCB said at one point he never had a 6-star violent attack percent legendary rune. Okay, he just never had that in slot 6. He couldn't find it for like a year. All right. And then when he got it, it probably was crappy stats anyway. Or maybe he sold them because they were all crappy stats. I mean, but what you got to think about is the fact that you want to be able to do this and spend these wisely, just as wisely as you would spend Devilmons, okay? In fact, I would consider holding these to be, yeah, pretty much just as valuable as a Devilmon. They are an incredibly valuable resource. All right, so now, another tip on this. They do not reroll innates. So this thing right here, if this is a attribute that you don't want, okay, it is an advantage to roll that rune over the same rune that has no innate. So if it's a slot 6 attack percent violent, okay, then and if it has an innate of flat attack, flat defense, resistance, accuracy, HP percent, or defense percent, all those are rolls you really don't want. But they block out that roll from occurring on the other subs. So essentially, this increases your chance, and it's actually a significant increase of getting, say, crit rate, crit damage, and speed. Really and truthfully, on an attacker rune, that's the 3 things that you want. So, if you can block out one bad thing that you don't want, it becomes pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take one of these, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it doesn't have any speed. I would like to have something a little bit more tanky on my Fire Sky Dancer, Hot Wahi. Just for raids, but I don't know. It does lessen his attack. Well, I got mana. I can see how that turns out. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get a 6-star violent rune here today, but we'll see what we can get. Unfortunately, I think I have a lot of rage runes I can still craft. Yeah, so let's go over and start crafting them because I need some of these too. Sure, I'll try that. It's not the best, but my rage runes are actually primitive limited. Whenever I've been doing Necropolis, they haven't been wanting to drop for me at all. Now, if you're going to do slot 1, 3, and 5 runes, remember that certain slots on 1 and 3 are actually going to be easier to roll, depending on what you're trying to get, than a slot 5. And that's because slot 1 blocks out flat defense, and also, of course, flat attack, but also defense percent. While slot 3 blocks off flat attack, flat defense, and attack percent. So there's only 3 types of things that you need. It's too bad. That would have been nice as a 6-star. There's only 3 substats that you need on a slot 3. There's only 3 stats that you need on a slot 1. Okay, that's not true. There's you want a crit rate, crit damage, attack, and speed on slot 1, and you want the same thing on slot 5. So slot 1s, though, are easier to reroll than slot 5s, okay? Because slot 5 doesn't block off the defense percent. Now, if you're doing a rage rune, maybe that block doesn't matter. Statistically speaking, though, you're still going to have a better chance to roll a premium rune if that if one of those stats is blocked, because it's simply going to, the other combinations will occur slightly more. Yeah. which is why innates are also good. So if you're going to do one and you're going to choose one to do, the slot one with an innate that you don't care about essentially blocks several bad stats from occurring, and you can up your percentage chance of actually getting the things you want pretty pretty easily. All right, so I guess I used up all my luck last night on the other account, and let me tell you, I probably did, because I actually did roll a slot 6 defense percent, not HP, um, and it rolled all 4 times into crit rate. So it's at 24% crit rate with crit damage, HP percent, and accuracy. Now, obviously, I would like to get rid of the probably get rid of the accuracy for speed, but accuracy is helpful to land stuns off of copper or bulldozer, wherever that thing ends up. Probably maybe on copper for a bit. I mean, I don't know who wants swift defense percent with crit damage, but hey, it's 24% crit rate on a defense percent slot 6 rune. I don't want to re-roll it, even though, I could try and re-roll it and say go for speed with the reappraisal stones. That's something you just don't want to get rid of. Unfortunately, one of the other ones was a rage slot 4 HP percent. That's not very helpful to reappraise, because, to be honest, all you really want there is like a speed sub. I wish this was a 6-star. That would be awesome. Definitely running low on runes and material again. I had a bunch of stuff stocked up for Necro. Yeah. And my screwing up last time. Alright, well, that's a pretty good one. I will definitely keep that, even though it's not something I want to reappraise. Alright. Alright, well, I have no such luck on that, so let me go and see if I can find a rune to reappraise. Okay, guys, I am back, and I have found a rune that was that's interesting enough to want to try and go ahead and reappraise. Unfortunately, it's not what I'd like it to be. I'd rather be the swift or the violent, like I was telling you about. Unfortunately, the swift 6-star HP percent rune that I have on Spectra actually is pretty decent. Now, you can tell this is a legendary rune just by looking at it, by looking at the last stat. If the last stat is rolled, then it is a legendary rune, guaranteed. Okay? If the last stat is not rolled, it can be harder to tell, unfortunately. And there's currently this thing right here. It's totally useless. I don't know why even that's there. But anyway, I mean, I could use a power-up stone here. If so, it would definitely probably move it off Spectra. But speed, crit rate, and accuracy are all useful on Spectra. So I was kind of like, well, do I really want to remove it? I mean, to be honest, this is almost a perfect kind of Spectra rune. I guess you could move the flat HP off and put on attack percent. Yes, the crit rate all rolled lowest roll twice, and starting off with the lowest roll. So that's not the best thing in the world. But the problem is, of course, really and truthfully, just like you, I probably trashed runes that were, triple flat HP percent rolls or whatever. But I found one rune that at least has some good useful potential, but it sucks right now. Okay, and that is on Minhang. And Minhang has this rune, and as you can tell, that last up is powered up out the bejeebus. Okay, so it has one roll into resistance, one roll into HP, and 2 rolls into flat. So if you're going to reappraise something, this is definitely something that you could reappraise, because really and truthfully, This is a blue rune. You, yeah, with resistance on a will set. It's not exactly what you're looking for, okay? So, alright. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reappraise this. Now, I wish this had an innate sub. If it had an innate sub, we'd be more likely to reroll the things I would love, which would be speed, crit rate, crit damage. Those three together. Okay? But I want to show you how this works, so let's try it out. And that's pretty cool. So it rolled twice into speed, once into crit rate, and once into attack, flat attack. Well, I would definitely take that over what I have. First off, it's like a lot more speed, 8 more. So, yeah. Now, we could reappraise it again. As you notice, the cost did not increase. It's a very small cost, which I'm also quite surprised at. I've been having a lot of mana problems, especially on my Europe account, trying to generate just mana period to do things, and I expect them to sock it to you so that you have to buy more mana packages. Well, oh, yeah, try to eke more mana packages out of people, I guess. But this is actually really low cost. That's a pretty good result. Actually, I am quite surprised. Well, I didn't expect anything to happen quite that good on the first try. Let me see if I can find something else to reappraise runes, and came up with the idea that I should do exactly what I'm preaching here. Sorry, I just don't have another rune for you to work with. But as of last week, I've been selling things that they're double flat stats and stuff that would obviously be great for rune reappraisal. Unfortunately, I just don't have anything else that I really want to reappraise this time, so I'm going to follow the advice that I am giving and hold off. Save them for good runes that you're going to want to be able to, well, for crappy runes, but have the correct main stat that you want to redo. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you out, and this is Kolik signing out.